So today in this video we are going to learn about the shape functions. Shape functions for two-dimensional element. Shape functions for two-dimensional elements. So for that we need some basic idea for deriving the shape function. So this is one-dimensional element. So we have only one representation of epsilon for the natural coordinate. The natural coordinates are dealing with 1, 0, minus 1 only. So we have to fix a coordinate for natural number of epsilon. Here also epsilon. Because of one-dimensional element, I am keeping epsilon only. For two-dimensional element, so we have to indicate as epsilon and eta as the coordinates. Coordinate for a particular point. So I am fixing the coordinate as epsilon equal to 1. Here epsilon equal to minus 1. Epsilon equal to 1 and epsilon equal to minus 1, whereas the midpoint representing 0. So now I am going to write the shape function with this natural coordinate as 1 plus epsilon by 2 in such a way that the n1 is the shape function at node 1, shape function at node 1 at first node. Here it is first node, here it is second node. The n1 equal to 1 should be valid at node 1 only. Node 1 only. n1 should be equal to 1 at node 1 only. Because we are keeping n1 as shape function for node 1. So when n1 becomes 1, if you substitute epsilon equal to 1 here, so I am making this is a shape function expression n1. I have to formulate the expression in such a way that if you substitute the coordinate of epsilon in this equation, it should give n1 equal to 1. At the same time, if you substitute another coordinate in this equation, it should be equal to 0. It should be equal to 0 because n1 is equal to 1 is valid only at node 1. In such format, we have to formulate the shape function. So I am going to substitute epsilon equal to 1 in this shape function. So 1 plus 1 by 2. So it is 2 by 2 which is equal to 1 which is equal to n1. So n1 we get n1 equal to 1 at node 1. At the same time I am going to substitute the second coordinate in this equation. So 1 minus 1 by 2 which is 0. So the n1 is valid only at node 1. So we have to formulate the shape function in such a way that it should give n1 equal to 1 at this node. So in this manner, we are going to derive the shape function for two-dimensional analysis with the coordinate of epsilon and eta. So for this first, we are taking the rectangular coordinate of 4 nodes. 4-noded rectangular coordinate. I am taking 4-noded rectangular coordinate or quadrilateral element. 4-noded element, 4-noded quadrilateral element. So I am going to derive the shape function with the help of natural coordinates. So here we have two system of representation. One is parent system of representation, another one is child system of representation. Consider the parent system of representation as the global representation, So we want the global displacement. For that we have to formulate the local displacement. So when you multiply the local displacement with shape function, you can get the global displacement. So I am representing the global set of element. The rectangular element is in global coordinate. So all four coordinates I have mentioned in the parental representation. So it is some irregular shape. It is in irregular shape of quadrilateral element. The same element is represented as a proper rectangular element in local coordinate system. Or we can call it as child coordinate representation. So another one is parent coordinate representation. So here the child coordinate is generally in terms of natural coordinates. What is natural coordinates? In terms of 0, 1, minus 1. 0, 1, minus 1. So our shape function is in terms of natural coordinate. We are going to calculate the displacement in global coordinate with the help of the shape function and its coordinates and its local coordinates. So up to n number of coordinates, n x power n. Similarly, the y displacement, we can find n1 y1 plus n2 y2 up to the number of coordinates available. So this n1 is representing the child coordinate system. The y is the parent coordinate system. So we are going to find the original geometry displacement with the help of the assumed geometry displacement in natural coordinate. So what are the natural coordinate? 1, 0, minus 1. So we are going to define the coordinate in terms of epsilon and eta. X-axis represented as epsilon, y-axis is represented as eta. The midpoint is considering 0, 0 coordinate. The midpoint of the rectangular or quadrilateral section is 0, 0. So that the first node, you consider the first node, it is the negative coordinate of eta as well as negative coordinate of epsilon, because the direction mentioned here is assumed to be positive. The upward eta is positive and towards the right side epsilon is positive. So this coordinate is minus 1 of epsilon and minus 1 of eta. The opposite corner of this quadrilateral element can be represented with the positive epsilon and positive 1 of eta. Just opposite to the minus 1, minus 1. So this coordinate can be represented with the positive coordinate of epsilon and the negative coordinate of eta, because this point is below the 0 level in y-axis, in eta axis, so it is minus 1. The opposite corner of this element is opposite nature, that is negative minus 1 coordinate in epsilon, because the epsilon towards right side is positive but this point is on left side, so it is minus 1. But in eta coordinate it is plus 1. It is plus 1. Now all the representation of coordinate is over. So we have finished the coordinates in all 4 nodes. The node, the element is called as 4-noded quadrilateral element. So we are going to find out the shape function. Once you find out the shape function, you can find out the global displacement. That's our idea. So the shape function, general equation for shape function is ni is SF. What is SF means? Scale factor. Scale factor. Scale factor. So it is calculated with the condition of n1 equal to 1 at node 1, n2 equal to 1 at node 2, n3 equal to 1 at node 3, and so on. So scale factor we are going to find out. And if you consider node 1, this node 1 is the multiplication of equation of 2, 3. So I am giving the number 1, 2, 3, 4, or otherwise 1, 2, 3, 4. So this first node comprising of the equation of this opposite edges. The node 1 comprising of equation of opposite edges. What are the opposite edges? 2, 3 and 3, 4 are the opposite edges. So equation of the line 2 to 3 multiply the equation of the line 3 to 4, equation of the line 3 to 4. So this is the general equation. For example, if you consider the second node, you consider opposite edges of 3, 4 and 1, 4. 3, 4 and 1, 4. So for example, I am writing for N1 node. N1 node, it is SF, equation of, here it is for N1. We can take it as N1. So I am now writing for N2. For the node 2, the opposite edges are 3, 4 and 1, 4. So scale factor multiplying with equation of the line 3 to 4 multiplying with the equation of the line 1 to 4. So this is the general equation. How to write the equation of the line? So just observe the common coordinate of these two coordinates. So for example, if you take 2, 3 line, you have the common coordinate of 1 and 1 in each equation. In y coordinate it is 1 here it is -1. Don't take the differential coordinate. You consider the common coordinate in both the representation. So you have the common coordinate of epsilon equal to 1. For the another line 3 to 4, you have the common coordinate of the eta. Here it is 1, positive 1. Here also positive 1. In epsilon it is positive 1 here, but here it is -1. So you neglect that. So you consider eta is equal to 1. Eta equal to 1. So how you can get an equation from this point? So epsilon equal to 1 means you can write 1 minus epsilon equal to 0. It is one of the equation. If it is eta equal to 1, it is 1 minus eta equal to 0. It is another equation. So you can write as n1, which is equal to scale factor 1 minus epsilon and 1 minus eta. 1 minus epsilon, 1 minus eta. Because if you substitute the coordinates of epsilon 1 at this point, if you substitute epsilon equal to 1, you can make it as a equation 1 minus epsilon. Here you are going to substitute the coordinate of 1. That is epsilon equal to -1 in this equation. It should not be 0. If you substitute epsilon equal to -1, it is 1 minus of -1, which is equal to 2. If you substitute epsilon equal to -1, because the node 1 is having both minus in epsilon as well as eta. So in eta, if you substitute -1, it is also 2. So we have to form the equation in such a way that the n1 should be equal to 1 at node 1. That is the node of consideration. It should be active at a particular node only. N1 should be active or should be available at that particular node only. So N1 equal to 1 at the node 1 only. So we can write the equation in this manner. So 1 minus epsilon, 1 minus eta. Similarly, you can write scale factor equation of 3 to 4. You consider 3 to 4. The common factor is eta. So eta equal to 1, and consider equation of line 1 to 4. 1 to 4 you have common of minus 1 for epsilon. So epsilon equal to minus 1. So if you change into equation, scale factor 1 minus 1 plus epsilon into 1 minus eta. So you first mention epsilon and then eta. So 1 plus epsilon and 1 minus eta. Similarly, we are going to form for other two nodes. So every time it is essential to define the nodes, because we are going to write the equation according to the nodal points only. So I am going to give some other shortcut for writing this shape function. So first of all, scale factor, you keep this. You just see the nodal points of 3, nodal coordinates of 3. Nodal coordinates of 3. It is epsilon and eta. It is a coordinate of epsilon and eta. So just write 1 plus epsilon and 1 plus eta. 1 plus epsilon and 1 plus eta, because it is 1 comma 1. So in the conventional method, you should consider for the node 3 the equation of 4 1 and equation of 1 2. What is the common factor for equation of 4 1? It is epsilon equal to minus 1. What is the common factor for 1 2? It is eta equal to minus 1. If you make it as an equation, it is 1 plus epsilon and 1 plus eta. Instead, we can directly use this coordinate to write this equation. If it is minus 1, you write 1 minus epsilon, 1 minus eta. The coordinate is plus 1, you directly write 1 plus epsilon and 1 plus eta. Similarly, I can write for n4, the scale factor into the coordinate here it is minus 1, here it is plus 1. So 1 minus epsilon, 1 plus eta. So it is one of the shortcut. Directly we can write the shape factor. So now it is the time to find out the value of scale factor. So for that we use the boundary condition. We can call it as a geometric boundary condition. That is n1 is equal to 1 at node 1. n1 is equal to 1 at node 1. So the node 1 coordinate is minus 1 comma minus 1. So we can take the equation of n1. n1 is equal to scale factor 1 minus epsilon, 1 minus eta. n1 is equal to scale factor 1 minus epsilon, 1 minus eta. You just substitute the coordinates. It is a scale factor into 1 minus of minus 1, 1 minus of minus 1 again. n1 is equal to 1. So 1 is equal to scale factor 2 into 2. So the scale factor is equal to 1 by 4. 1 by 4. If you substitute for n2 equal to 1 at node 2, you will get the same answer, because we follow some symmetrical representation. So it is node 2, it is 1 comma minus 1. So node 2 equation 1 is equal to scale factor of 1 plus epsilon, 1 minus eta. So it is the equation for n2. So I am going to substitute 1 is equal to scale factor, the coordinate 1 plus 1, 1 minus of minus 1, 1 minus of minus 1. So again you are getting 1 is equal to scale factor of 2 into 2. So it is scale factor is equal to 1 by 4. So it is continuously same for all nodes. For all nodes which is symmetrical about x and y axis. So you will get this same scale factor. So we can conclude the shape functions for all 4 nodes. n1 is equal to 1 by 4, 1 minus epsilon, 1 minus eta. n2 equal to 1 by 4, 1 plus epsilon, 1 minus eta. n3 equal to 1 by 4, 1 plus epsilon and 1 plus eta. n4 is equal to 1 by 4, 1 minus epsilon, 1 plus eta. So once you get the shape function, we can write x is equal to n1 x1 plus n2 x2 plus n3 x3 plus n4 x4 for the x direction displacement. Y direction displacement n1 y1 plus n2 y2 plus n3 y3 plus n4 y4. So in next video we are going to see about the isoparametric formulation. After that we are going to derive the same quadrilateral element shape function with additional 4 nodes. Now we are considering only 4 nodes. We are going to consider another interior 4 nodes. Now our nodes are on the extreme end. Further we are going to consider the internal nodes. So totally 8 noded quadrilateral element. We are going to find the shape function, derive the shape function for 8 noded rectangular element.